And now we'll complete the fourth section. Let's bring back our control curves. What we now want to do is add some rotate X movement to the upper body to finish this up. And as far as where to place the rotate X movement, it's going to be on the same frames as our translate Y for the squats. And because of the heaviness of the weight, the upper body is really going to stay tight and downward, so there's not going to be any follow through for the upper body. So what we'll do is select our controls, okay, and remember that it's going to be on the same frames as our translate Y. So with our chest, back, and center of gravity control selected, we'll go to this first frame where the character is down on frame 165, and we'll go to the rotate X, and let's rotate the character down some. Still where the arms are locked, but still rotated down. So here's our result when we scrub through. Alright, great. And now we'll work on the next pose, this time rotating the character upwards, but not as much, because remember, we want to keep in mind the weight that the character is lifting. It's pretty heavy. So with that in mind, let's rotate the back a little bit more back some, not as much, remember. And we'll work on our next pose where the character is moving down, and on that frame 179, again we'll have the character move down. Remember, we also want to keep in mind the intensity at which the character is squatting, and it's gradually increasing, so we'll move him down even more on frame 179. Then when we scrub past, the character is ready to spring up and throw the weight onto his chest. So with these things done, what we need to do now is work on having the chest control move more than the rest of our controls because of, again, the weight. So we'll select the chest control, and let's go to our perspective and graph view, and from there we'll just focus on the rotate X. So we'll use Alt, Shift, and right mouse button clicking and dragging so we can get a better view of our F curve, and we'll also focus in on our perspective, and we'll start from the beginning. So as the chest is moving down, what we can do is actually take both of these controls, since they're going in the same direction, and we'll start moving them up. So the chest is rotating downward like that, and we'll scrub through to see if we like the movement. Alright, great. And we remember, we want to keep it exaggerated too, so I think that's fine. Now as the back is moving up, because of the weight, the chest isn't going to move as back as it's going right now, so we'll just take that key on 173 and move it up as well, so the chest will be rotated back, not as much. There we go. And remember, these squats are intensifying, so on this key on frame 179, we're going to want to increase it a little bit more than our key on 165. And now we can check out our results from doing these tweaks. So we could just start back our range slider from closer to the beginning here and hit play. Excellent. We're getting some nice movement now. But we have some more tweaks to do. So let's go back to our perspective and graph view. And what we want to do now to finish up our chest control in this area is take this key on frame 184 and see how it has flat tangency. Well, we want a smoother fall. Okay, we want a smoother flow in our F curve. So we'll select the right half of the tangent handle, middle mouse button, click and drag downward, so we get that smoother flow, which also leads to a smoother animation. Great, so now the chest is done. Now we could go ahead and work on the back control. And the back, it's not going to move, again, as much as the chest was. We're just going to make slight adjustments to it. And then when we get to the center of gravity, we'll just make a really quick tweak on that. But let's focus on the back right now. As for the back, we'll just have these keys move up just slightly, not much. Like that. Maybe even a little bit less, like that. Okay, and as far as this key, when the back is moving back, we'll just take it and move it up a little bit. Great. Now we'll work on the next pose on frame 179, and we'll take this key and move it a little bit more higher than the key on frame 165. And there's our back movements if we check them out by scrubbing through. And again, just like what we did on frame 184, we'll take that key and adjust its tangency so we get a smoother flow. Great, now let's work on the center of gravity. And remember, we're just making a slight tweak to it. All we need to do is adjust this key on frame 184. Once we've done these things, we can now go ahead and check out our animation now to view our adjustments. So we'll just hit play. Great, we're getting some really nice movement now. But we do need to fix the arms because notice they are bending when they should be locked. And that's because of the fixes we made on the chest control and the back and even the center of gravity, all our upper body controls. So what we'll do is select the barbell control, and we'll go back to the perspective and graph view, go to the translate Y, and all we need to do is go to those down positions and adjust them so that the arms are still locked. So like for example on frame 165, let's take this key and move it down some so that the arms are locked, and we'll scrub through to make sure that the arms are staying locked as they should. Great, and as the character moves up, that's fine. And we also need to fix the next down position on frame 179. So we'll select that key, hold shift, and middle mouse button click and drag downward so that the arms are still locked. Great. Now's a great time to do a play blast. So let's do that. We'll hide our NURBS curves, our control curves, and find a nice view to play back from where we can view those fixes that we've made and render one off. Here it is. Great, so now our squats are looking much better. But there's one more tweak we can do to finish this off, finish off this fourth section. So let's close out the play blast, and all we need to do is go to our barbell control and adjust it on frame 156 so that the fingers aren't going into the barbell as much as they are. And remember, again, we'll go back later and adjust the fingers once we're done with the feet. But for now, we just want to do a quick fix. So that'll be done on the Translate Y. So we'll also go back to the barbell, the Translate Y, in our perspective and graph view. We'll select this key, and let's just move it up some so that the arms are better placed, or the hands are better placed on the barbell. And that's all. Well, that wraps up this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll start working on the next section where the character throws a weight onto his chest.